clean girl fragrances. So you want to smell clean, light, fresh, crisp. I have a few fragrances that do those things pretty well. And I'm going to jump right into it. And as always, you can find the products that I mentioned in the description in the Amazon affiliate links down below. Now, I'm going to start with a unisex option that I think works pretty well, obviously for both men and women. This is Voyage d'Hermès, obviously from Hermès. This is a very light scent, very, very subtle, and it works best, I would say, for the spring and summer, but it is pretty versatile. So this is primarily a citrusy green fragrance. Whenever I smell it, I think of something a little bit tropical, kind of beachside. You're sipping an ice cold margarita, you know, something like that. It has that certain fresh breeze, green kind of, you could smell some plants maybe in the distance. You know, just something very simple. There's not that many notes in it. Fresh, breezy, like I said, kind of good for warm weather because it's more of a cooler fragrance. The only problem that it has, and I've mentioned this many times before, is that the longevity is not that great. I would say longevity is between 2 and 4 hours, which is pretty weak. But just for the scent alone, it is really, really nice. Very refreshing. It's kind of just like you put it on, you feel immediately refreshed, especially if it's really hot out. You know, and you're sweating, you just want to get fresh instantly. This will do that pretty well. So that's the big bonus that it has. It kind of counteracts its poor longevity. This is also the eau de toilette. I'm not sure if there is an eau de parfum available or a stronger extract. If there is, I would recommend getting that, but if the eau de toilette is the only thing available, that's, you know, the qualm of the longevity for you. But moving on to a similar scent, also unisex, but stronger, I would say Gentle Fluidity. This is one of my favorites for the summer specifically. It is extremely cold and fresh, and more on the natural side of things. It's not like a synthetic type of fresh. It's more like you've hiked into the mountains, there's an icy cold stream, there's some pine trees nearby, that fresh natural scent. There's some juniper berries in here as well, which is a very fresh, clean, sharp note. Not very sweet in general, but also not too, it's not musky, it's not too woodsy. Just very balanced, a very green, sharp, and cold type of scent. And as I said before, this will last longer than the Voyage d'Hermès. Not by much, I would say average longevity is 4 to 5 hours, so still kind of on the weaker side, weaker to moderate. But it does perform better. This is the eau de parfum, so it's just more concentrated. But like I said, it is very nice, especially for warmer weather, or if you just want to make sure you smell nice and fresh throughout the day. Now, another one, which I always associate with springtime, sometimes summer, but I think it's more of a springtime scent. This is Fleur de Peau from Diptyque, and this is a really nice, it's cold, but not too cold, definitely not as much as Gentle Fluidity. It has a certain warmth to it. It's kind of a sunny, grassy, slightly warm, yet fresh fragrance. So it's kind of mixing a lot of different variables in it. It has pretty good longevity, I would say 6 to 7 hours. It really sticks to the skin more than you would expect it to, especially since it's a lighter type of fragrance. And projection's really good as well. People will definitely know that you're wearing this. It has some pretty unique notes. Most of them are very natural, some plant notes and things like that. There's a carrot note, which is very unusual, but it does add a certain crispness to it, a certain vegetable scent in a good way. But this is definitely a very unique feminine option. You know, nice and clean, softer, not quite that sharp, icy cold, just a softer cleanliness. Then going into the realm of something way more popular, this is Versace Yellow Diamond. Most people know about this. This is a pretty simple scent. Like I said, very popular. Has some notes of pear, neroli, bergamot, orange blossom, little bit of musk, but not really. In general, a very modern example of a extremely feminine yet simple scent. It has the sweetness, it has a little bit of freshness, has some citrus, some fruit notes, very smooth, and it's just kind of an all-purpose sort of scent. It's not exactly unique, because it's pretty similar to, other fragrances that are popular right now. However, it is very affordable. I want to say it's about $50 to $60, maybe even cheaper. And it does perform really well. It'll last probably 6 hours. And it's just a nice feminine option that you don't really have to think about. If you want to go to the grocery store and smell nice, you want to go to work. It's a pretty nice option just because it's reliable, it's simple, and it's universally liked. So you can't really go wrong with it. Now, the last one that I have is kind of similar, falls into the vein of being extremely likable, but I do like this one more than Yellow Diamond. This is Light Blue from Dolce & Gabbana. This is probably one of the most popular women's fragrances ever. There's also a men's version, which I haven't tried yet, but the women's version is famously enjoyed. This is a very simple yet effective type of fragrance. It has some citrus notes in the beginning. It has a little bit of green apple for that crispness. It has also, I always say it's kind of similar to fresh linens. You can imagine, at least I imagine the Italian Riviera, someone hanging out their laundry, that ocean breeze coming through. It's that type of freshness. Simple, like I said, but still effective. Longevity is not that great. I would say 4 to 5 hours, which is pretty moderate. But as a light fragrance, you can't really expect too much more than that, just in general. And it is a very classic feminine option. It's extremely versatile. You could easily wear this to the grocery store, to work, to a formal outing, a casual outing, hanging out with friends, going on a date. You could pretty much wear this anytime, anywhere, and it's going to work out. And you won't have any problems. You may have to reapply it, once it starts fading halfway through the day. But besides that, it really doesn't have any problems, that I can find at least. And there are different versions. This is the Eau Intense, which is a little bit stronger than the typical light blue. So if you find that, maybe the average light blue, the Eau de Toilette, doesn't last that long, you can always try a stronger version, and maybe you won't have to reapply it as often. But in general, that is my list of clean girl fragrances, very light and fresh fragrances here. So if you found this video helpful, of course, you could leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.